Hi, guys. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome on our weekly message of inspiration and activation. Today, I want to speak about friendship breakups. I didn't even know this was a real thing. This was a name that existed until I read about it. And I want to talk about what we can do when we are in the middle of such a devastating experience. And so before we continue, just let me know where you're watching from. If you don't know me yet, my name is Joyce, and I'm happy to talk to you today. Hope you feel comfortable to interact with me. And so let's start with a question. I like to ask you, have you already lost a friend? Have you already had such kind of breakup with a friend? If so, and you feel comfortable with telling it, just put down yes. And I want to ask you, and you don't have to tell me this, but how did that make you feel? What happened inside of you when this happened? Were you surprised, hurt, angry? What was going on inside of you when this friendship breakup happened? And these friendship breakups can be as painful, or maybe even more, I'm not sure, but it can be so painful as a romantic breakup. My mom is on. Hi, Mom. And so I have also already lost friends. I already had these painful breakups with friends. I still find it a funny word, but it does describe well what this is. So I always thought that when you meet a friend, this person will stick around for life. I meet a new friend, it's for life, friendship for life. That's what I always thought. But over the years, I realized that is not always how it happens. That is not always what happens. And someone said this, I'm not sure if it's a quote or if it's something a quote of themselves. I'm not sure, but it really stuck with me. And this is the phrase: some people are for a reason, others for a season. And I love how it places, how it says, because God places people in our lives, and some of these people will stick around forever. They're gonna just stick around. They're those friends that go through thick and thin, and these can be like friends that you have seen that you don't always see. But I have friends that live abroad, and I see them every once in a while. But even though we have this distance, we can just, when we see each other, we just connect again, and we can talk. It's like we just talked yesterday, and today we're talking again, and we're connecting really close. So I have these kind of friends that just stick around with me, and I have other friends that were with me for a season, and we just maybe someone that went to school with me for a few years, and we had these moments that we experienced together, deep moments, high moments, great moments, and then we lose touch, and each goes their separate ways. And then you can also have those friends that you were really close with, but something happened, or various things happened, and all of a sudden things grow cold, and it doesn't end up so nicely. And these are the painful ones. These are really the ones that touch us deep inside. And I have a story like that. I have a story, I think, about 10 years ago. It's a while now. But I had a close group of friends, and we would spend, I think, 3 times a week our time together. And we were people from different ages, from different nationalities, but we were really close, and we would share everything. And we were so passionate about life, and yeah, we were sharing it all together. But then things happened, various situations happened, and this group of friends fell apart, and it was really painful. And yeah, it grew cold and ugly, and it hurted. It hurt it isn't, yeah, okay. And shortly after that, I married shortly after that, and it was really hard period for me, because my friends, the people that I wanted to share this with, they were no longer around, and I couldn't invite them. And so I know that this is very painful. So, and many of us, we can feel many things when that happens. We can feel anger, we can feel hurt, we can feel the desire to defend ourselves. We can want justice, or yeah, all these things. You can think and feel all those things. So but the reality is, sometimes we make friends and we don't keep the friends. Sometimes people go out of our lives. And when this happens, there is no winner. When it happens ugly, there is really no winner. So it's not about who was right and who was wrong. It's about ending this right. And so how can we do this? How can we keep our hearts right when such things happen? And this is really what I want to talk to you about today. And there's just one quote that I really want to share with you, because it's just so beautiful. Just listen up. This is for you. Bitterness, resentment, and anger have no place in a heart as beautiful as yours. Isn't that beautiful, this quote? Yeah, it's a good reminder. Bitterness, resentment, and anger have no place in a heart as beautiful as yours. So what we got to do when we are in the middle of such a friendship breakup, we've got to reestablish the we. And just listen up, stick around, because you will hear that what I mean by that is different than you probably think it is. So I'm curious to let me know at the end if it was what you thought it would be, okay? So reestablishing the we. You got to give things time, and you got to fight the urge to want to fight back. Fight the urge to want to fight back. A lot of fighting here. So you got to fight for the person, not against the person. Just remind those things. For the person, not against the person. And there's this verse, and if you read the Bible, I'm sure you've already read this one. In Ephesians 6, verse 12, it says, our struggle is not against flesh and blood, meaning it's not against people, but it is against rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So it says that we do have a fight, and the fight is against an enemy, but that enemy is not a person. It's not your friend that you just, your friendship just broke up with. That's not the enemy. Why? Well, why do we need to reestablish the we? Well, your friends may have caused you hurt in your life. They may have caused hurt, but she is not the enemy. And you might have caused hurt in your friend's life, but you are not the enemy. You're not her enemy. We have an enemy, and it's not each other. Our enemy is the devil, and he's roaring around. He's wanting to make, cause division. He's so happy when we get all bitter and resentful and angry, because then we're useless for God. We just filled with so much pain inside. So we need to reestablish the we, because our enemy is not each other. How do we do that? Well, and here it is. Here is what you will notice will be different than what you might have thought. But one of the things you can do, I'm just going to share one simple thing, but one of the things you can do, make a list of all the things you can think of that are so wonderful and amazing about your friend, things you really value in your friend that you just broke up with, or your friendship broke off. Make that list. What is so great about your friend? And these become like positive statements, and these become like a sword or a fierce weapon, and fierce, accurate weapon against the enemy, against evil, because you're proclaiming truth over that person, and you're not speaking bad about her or him. And I know this is really hard to do. In the middle of all this pain and hurt and confusion that is happening, it is so hard to say positive things about your friend, or to write it down and declare it. Hi, Angie. Great to have you here, or Anya. So what may this result in? What does reestablishing the we result in? Well, it doesn't always result in reestablishing the relationship. I'm very sad to say that. Sometimes we don't get to connect back with our friends. Sometimes you keep going your separate ways. So it doesn't reestablish the relationship. Reestablishing the we doesn't always reestablish the relationship, but you do reestablish the we. That means you stop fighting the person. And what you also do, and this is very important, you acknowledge God to be God, even when life doesn't make sense, even when you don't know the details, where this is going to end. And you honor him, even when your circumstances aren't pleasant. So, does this mean that we are never tempted to prove our rights, that we are never tempted to seek justice and to fight back? Yes, we do get tempted to do that. But just remember that it is not, I got to remind myself that it's not my job, or that it is my job to be obedient to God and to honor God. It is not my job to fight against people. And I've got to let God take care of things, handle of things. I got the right, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I got to raise above my circumstances. And this is how I do it. Remember the how we can reestablish the we, proclaiming positive things about your friends. Actively seeking what is good and what is pleasant in that friend. So I'm just going to quote some things from a book that I've written because I just love how it's written. And I can't say it in any better way. So just open up your ears and receive this. We must speak honor in the midst of being dishonored. We must speak peace in the midst of being threatened. We must speak of good things in the midst of a bad situation. We must be obedient to trust and believe God. Wow, this is living powerfully. And we got to do this not because our friend was right, or not because we are right, but simply because you want to stay right with God, simply because you want to honor God and want to stay right in your heart. So I hope this has helped you. I hope, first and for all, I hope you never have to go through this. But if you do, just remember, there is a way to keep living, with your heart in the right place in the midst of this, even if you don't know if it's going to come, your friendship's going to come back together or not. So I hope this encouraged you, inspired you, and that it has been helpful for you. If so, put down yes. And I'd love to see you again next week. Bye-bye.